Hi everybody. Now let me suss out these bullshit comments. They need to make shit easy, because honestly, this shit's hard. Okay. So I'll wait until some more people come on and then we will start. But I hope you've had a bloody brilliant day. I've just looked on my phone on the live, and it's got everything I'm saying. It's like writing it out. Fuck, 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 fuck. Hey Mudsy, thank you for watching. I'm just waiting to see it right out. Fuck, 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 fuck. I will get my jollies easy. Oh God, pussies! Jesus Christ! One moment, I'm just going to get the tissue. Oh God. Oh, hello, Alana. Hello, Aunt. Excellent, excellent. Well, that's what I'm here for, to provide a bit of a laugh. Okay. So, my first live was outstanding. Enjoyed it immensely. And so I thought I would do a series, because my stories are too funny to just keep to myself. So I'm gonna love you too, Lana. Oh, Jules, you're ready for some tips? Jesus Christ. Well, so we are going to do a question answer agony aunt thing at the end of this little live tonight. I've got a couple of questions that people have actually written in to ask me to answer. You don't want to miss them, honestly. But if you've got any questions or you want to know any tips or anything like that, then you can ask me. It's like now take my glasses off, can't see fuck all, but at least I haven't got the glare. Now I've got glare, but at least I can see you. Oh, hey Chunky, how are you? Oh, thank you, Alana, thank you. Right, so tonight I'm going to be telling you about the series of events that took place on this particular date. Hi Chrissy. And it's fucking hilarious and actually quite unbelievable, but I swear every single goddamn word I'm about to say is true. I don't have to make this shit up. I mean, you know, right. So online dating, it is horrendous, and it's you know, like when you start navigating the online dating world, it's like fuck. It's brutal, it's cutthroat, and you see these ads. Hello, Colin. You see these ads, you know, that people write about themselves, and they say, I'm looking for a long-term relationship, blah 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 blah, and then they send you a picture, and it's of their cock. Let me just tell you, boys or men, unsolicited dick pics are disgusting. Believe me, when it comes time that, and I want to see your penis, you will know all about it. You will know all about it without me having to say, gives a gander of your penis. It's fucking weird. Oh, but but I had a man send me a dick pic once. This is fucking, I mean, if I could, I'd show you, because this man was a freak, utter freak. So he broke his dick. I didn't even know it was a thing. But anyway, he reckons he was having sex with this chick, and he came right out of an exited, and then he went to slam it back in for the re-entry, and he missed, and he fucking snapped his cock. So his penis looks like this. That's the shape of it. And I'm just sitting there going, I'm so fucking curious. Like, I don't want to have sex with you, but it's like when you want to have sex with a dwarf just to experience. You don't really want to, but you want the experience. I mean, who doesn't want to know what it's like to have sex with a dwarf? I fucking do. But anyway, so this guy sends me this dick pic of this fucking penis that snapped. And I said, oh my God, I'm sure that you can get an operation for that. And he goes, nah, the chicks love it. And so me being me, I said to him, well, when you're having a wank, you'd have to be careful that you didn't come in your own face. You'd have to wear like a fucking, like a mask or safety goggles. Can you imagine? Anyway, this pic has been a great source of entertainment between all of my friends. Honestly, I've showed everyone. And if you want to see it, hit me up and I'll fucking message it to you. But he reckons the chicks love it. And all I can think is, how the fuck do you get on it? I mean, honestly, he sent me a before and after pic. And I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, that was quite big before it broke and ended up like that. But anyway, he reckons the birds love it, and they offered him an operation to fix it up. And he said no. I mean, come on. The only reason I wanted to have sex with him because I was quite curious to see how I would actually navigate getting on this thing, because you'd have to kind of angle yourself like that and then go over the S-bend. No, I just can't fucking work it out. So I haven't got an engineering degree. Oh, Jesus Christ. But anyway, so let's start the story. The main event tonight. So I was chatting to this person who lived out of town, right? This man talked a big game. He talked a huge game, and I'm thinking, when I meet you, I can't wait, because by all accounts, from what's coming out your mouth, you are going to be a fucking outstanding lover. And so I'm thinking, okay, let me at him. I was excited. My imagination was running wild. Anyway, so we chatted a little bit. I should have used my intuition on this one. Because anyway, we stopped talking, and I'm thinking, okay, we haven't slept together yet. Not yet, hadn't slept together. And he stopped talking to me, and I was like, you fucking wank. Okay, all right. But he did freak me out, because after our third or fourth conversation, he was talking about relocating to Tauranga, and I'm thinking, I don't know about that. I mean, Jesus Christ, call your jets. I mean, I am outstanding, and I'm probably worth it. Just saying. Well, I think so. And the feedback that I've had from my feedback forms, where men have submitted to me, they all agree. I'm absolutely fucking worth it. I'm just going to say hello to some people. Hi, Renee. Hello, Trish. Hello, Louisa. Zoe. Peps, Pippa, Chrissy. Anyway, so stop talking to him. And then I thought I'd be a smart fuck. And I re-added him a few months later on this dating app. Anyway, so we got chatting, and I was like, why'd you stop talking to me? And he says, oh, life got busy and blah, blah, blah. And it was around Christmas time. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're a cock. But because you've talked to such a big game, I'm gonna give you a go. Because now I'm excited. I'm thinking, whoa. So anyway, he said, I can plan to come down there and be at your house next week. And I'm thinking, well, why don't you just do that then? So I had this, so all week I was kind of really excited, looking forward to this stud, utter fucking stud, turning up to my house. So I prepped myself, probably went for another Brazilian. It's been so long ago, I can't remember, but I probably would have. And I even shaved my legs. I mean, come on. So shaved my legs, I had on, got ready for the date. No, that's right. Sorry, I have to backtrack. So, my children's father's family, they got COVID. So I'd organised this hot date thinking I'm going to have a fucking great weekend. And my kids decided to fucking cock block me because they couldn't go home to their dads. So I had these children in my house. Well, I'm telling you right now, after that first episode that I told you about last week, no action will be taking place in my house while my children are here. It just put me off my stride. And because this dude had made himself out to be such a fucking amazing lover, I just couldn't take that risk, So I was like, things are about to get freaky. And anyway, so the kids cock blocked me, and I'm like, oh yeah, fuck. Yeah, that'd be right. That'd be just like my ex-husband to find out about what I'm doing. I don't know how. I don't know how he would have found out, but he would have found a way. And he probably orchestrated it. I fucking bet you actually he never had COVID. That'd be right. That'd be something that he would do. Anyway, so my friend Alana and Pete, they said to me, well, our kids are not home. We've got the whole downstairs available. And Ewan said person, I nearly said his name there, Ewan said person can have the whole downstairs. And I'm like, And she said, and then we can Tinder vet for you. So thus started off a series of Tinder vets. And I shall tell you about them over the course of these videos. It's fucking funny. Anyway, so this likely lad turns up, and I just sprung it on him. I said, well, we're not actually staying here because my children are here. We're going off to a friend's house. I mean, poor bastard. Give him his juice. Poor bastard. He's probably like, what the fuck? I have to go and meet her friends, but I don't give a shit. If you want me, you have to do it, right? Because nothing's happening over here. So he comes into the kitchen and he gives me a big pash up and shit like that. And I'm thinking, oh, you're a little bit different to your photos, right? Firstly, but not too different. Probably 20 kilos heavier, and that's okay. I mean, as long as he's amazing in bed, as he said he was. But I'll tell you about that anyway. So fuck's sake. So we get in the car, and he goes, "Should we go in my car?" And I'm like, "Oh, why don't we?" And so we get into his Audi, I think it was. I don't give a fuck about cars, but we get into his flash car. And we're driving up to my friend Pete Milana's house. And because this is all pre-orchestrated, pre-organized with them. He was just going along for the ride. Anyway, so turn up at Pete and Alana's house. And this dude was from Bristol, and I love an English accent, right? So he had me cracking up, and if you can make me laugh, well, you're halfway there. Anyway, so we start getting on it. He didn't. He was a non-drinker, but we were getting on it, and we were getting drunker and drunker, and drinking more and more and more. Anyway, we're like, fuck it, let's go out for dinner. And well, let's call an Uber. And this dude was like, no, I'll drive you. So we're like, oh, okay. So we get into his car. He turns on the stereo and it happens to be fucking amazing, like outstanding. So we're just sitting in the car listening to his music. I think he was playing Yellow, and we're just uncha, 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 uncha. It's fucking amazing. The whole way to the restaurant, we're doing like the whole Wayne's World thing. It was hilarious. Get to the restaurant, we're sitting outside, and he cranks up Timmy Trumpet, Freaks. And we're like, we cannot go in until we've listened to the whole track, right? So for a start, we're all wankered, and this dude's completely sober. So anyway, he's still talking a big game. He's talking about how his tongue is amazing and blah, blah, blah. I said if you don't like explicit thing, then don't watch me, because it's, you know. But anyway, so he's telling me about how amazing he is with his mouth and his skills with his fingers. And I'm like, time will tell. Because this was quite early on in my dating career, because it is a career. It's a career now, you know. I mean, I think I've qualified. I've got my fucking bachelor's in dating, so I'm more than qualified. Anyway, so we go into the restaurant, order our food and whatnot. He doesn't eat, and I think that's a bit fucking weird. And I thought, oh God, are you broke? So I'm like, would you like me to buy you some food? And he says, no, I ate before I left. And I'm thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, you had to drive like 3 hours to get here. I'm so worth it. And you ate before you came. Who does that? Even if I'd eaten 5 minutes before I got there, I would still eat. Let's face it, you go to a restaurant, you still eat, right? I mean, who's with me on that? I mean, who says no to food? Fuck off. What a freak. That should have been a red flag right there. Anyway, so we're sitting there and we're enjoying our dinner and shit like that. And this guy, just a random stranger from inside the restaurant, he comes and borrows a lighter. And he does this 3 or 4 times, and we're just sitting there having a really good time. And this dude, you know, he's checking out my ass and having, I was wearing my cheeky undies, you know, not a G-string, just kind of cheek, fucking uncomfortable. I mean, they look hot as fuck. Uncomfortable as shit. I mean, is any lingerie actually comfortable? I mean, but these cheeky fucking things, never worn them again. But it did amazing things for him. I mean, you know, I mean, why wouldn't he? He's only human. Only human. I only need to have a look at my ass. And he's just like, Jesus Christ. So he's rendered useless, basically. Anyway, so we're having a good time. Anyway, this guy comes back and asks for a lighter, and he starts talking to us. This is probably the 4th time. And there's Alana, there's Pete. And this guy, anyway, the lighter boy, he says, oh, I'm a private investigator. Oh, trumpet guy, yeah. I'm a private investigator, part-time medium, and part-time profiler. If you're a fucking private investigator, would you go and tell people? Would you really? I mean, there's just no secret in that. Oh, yeah, no, I'm a private investigator. I'm an undercover cop. Yeah, fucking go and tell people. I mean, step up your game. I mean, I'm not a private investigator, but even I know that. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm thinking, you dumb shit. Well, maybe I was thinking that. No, it was. Anyway, so Alana said, well, Andy's a medium, and he goes, oh, okay. And so he starts giving me this reading, an unsolicited reading. I mean, what a cock. I didn't want it. And he said to me all these things, and I'm like, no, you're way off the mark there. And then he said, well, I think your mother was really, really sorry about blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, firstly, my mother's still alive. And secondly, no, my mother was an asshole and she took part in all of it, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so he got a bit bummed out and he moved on from me. And then he went to my date. who speaks with a very thick Bristol accent, right? Okay, funny as fuck. And so he started giving this guy a reading. And this guy he said, oh, your father, such a hard-working man. And this guy said, I'm not going to do an accent because I'll sound like such a dick. Anyway, so he goes, such a hard-working man. And this guy goes, nah. He goes, my father was a fat, lazy cunt, and he inspired me every day to be a fat, lazy cunt myself. Which had to be there. It was hilarious. So this medium, part-time private investigator, part-time profiler, just nothing was right. So he moved on to Alana's beautiful fiance, Pete. Anyway, he started going on. He said, you're a drug dealer. And I mean, as if, even if Pete was a drug dealer, you're not going to fucking sit there and go, yeah, no, I'm a big time drug dealer. You're a stranger to me, so I would just tell you everything. So we're sitting there fucking pissing ourselves. It's so funny. So anyway, this conversation took place and it was hilarious. So Pete has now earned the title of Terry Clark. We call him TC for short because it's just like, he's a big time drug dealer. He's fucking not. But anyway, so this guy sheepishly went away and he never came back to ask us for a lighter. So we're sitting there and we're eating, we're getting drunker and drunker, and Date Boy, he's getting more free with his hands. You wait till you hear this last part. Even I did not see this coming. I mean, Jesus, this guy's a freak. Okay, so we're just getting all maggoted, and we thought, well, let's go back because you know it's time for sex, plain and simple. It's time for sex. Let's go. So we go back to Pete and Lana's house. And I have to say, on the ride home, I look back in the back seat, and fucking Pete and Alana are just getting down and friggin' dirty in the back, and Date Boy, he must have been watching in the rearview mirror because he's horny as fuck. Or maybe he just took a glimpse of me and thought to himself, she's amazing. Well, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Anyway, so we get back to their place, and of course I'm having some more beers and whatnot. Oh, I forgot to mention about Trumpet Boy. Anyway, but I have to mention it. This is how random this night was. So while we're in the pub and we're sitting there outside, this guy comes driving through in his car playing this trumpet out the window of his car. And we're just like, fuck, that's epic. So outstanding. Anyway. So I digress. So we're back at Pete and Alana's, setting the scene, right? God. So obviously, Date Boy is just chomping at the bit and gagging to get a piece of this, and I don't blame him. So he goes, oh, I'm so tired. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm like, oh, fuck, bollocks. I want to shag, but I want to carry on drinking. This is just the funniest night I've ever had. Anyway, so earmuffs, Jess. So I'm just like, oh God. So I went into the bedroom with Date Boy. Oh, fucking fingers. Keeping in mind that he had told me how fucking amazing he was, and I thought I was in for a great, great night. Wasn't quite the case. He really wasn't up to scratch, but that is not the worst of it. So the dog comes into the room, Pete and Alana's dog. And I was like, get out. I can't have you watching me do this kind of stuff. And he said, no, leave it in here. It turns me on. I'm like, what the fucking swamp living fucking ukulele playing, no, what do they play, banjo playing bullshit this, cousin fucking bullshit. I'm like, no, and I'm thinking, this is a bit weird. So I ushered the dog out and I closed the fucking door, and I'm like, what just happened? I mean, it turned him on because the dog was watching us. What the fuck? You didn't tell me you were like that. I mean, have you ever watched the movie Down on the Farm? Jesus Christ, just saying. So fuck. I'm thinking, well, that, you know, really I should get my shit and or I should ask him to leave, or I would, you know, I really should get up and go out and sleep in the lounge. But I'm like, no, I need a shag. So let's just overlook that. Let's just go for it. Anyway, so, yeah, no, witchy dirty bitches, right? So anyway, I'm like, okay, right. Well, as long as you don't fucking ask me to get on all fours and bark, you can give me a bone though. Anyway, so we're getting down to business, and he goes downstairs, and I'm waiting for it to become good. And it didn't. And I'm thinking, okay, when's the good part gonna happen? Because it fucking didn't. It was such a goddamn letdown, and I'm thinking, as soon as you told me seeing the dog, watching you have sex, or doing things in the bedroom, I should have run, because this was not worth the fucking wait. It was not even worth putting my cheekies on and sitting there all night with my undies right up my crack, right up my fucking vag. It just wasn't worth it. That's some painful shit too. But you can't sit there while you're having a date and pull your undies out of your flaps. I mean, can you fucking imagine? Actually, I would if I wasn't interested in somebody and I was trying. I've done that before. You wait till next week and I will be telling you. I had a date. I wanted to seem as unattractive. I mean, you know, I couldn't change this, so I had to have unattractive behavior because clearly I couldn't have an unattractive face. I mean, anyway, so... So this is when it gets really fucking freaky. So he takes off his pants and things like that, starts getting undressed. And then he said, I need to ask you a question. And I'm thinking, oh, just fuck me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear your questions. I only want a shag. So shut the fuck up. But that conversation only went on in my head. Out of my mouth came, sure, okay, what? And I'm prepared for the worst, and rightfully fucking so. So he asks me if he could put on my bra and my knickers while he fucked me. Now I'm an open-minded girl, and anything goes. And I'm kind of like, well, whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. Okay? Sure. So I let him put on my and I thought, it's all experiences. This is all an experience. I mean, it's not like I'm going to fucking marry him, you know. But if he's got a little fetish, that's fine. I mean, normally I wouldn't partake in that kind of shit, but I thought, why not? Why not? I'll give him his jollies. So he put on my bra and he put on my knickers, and we started shaking. And then anyway, because I'd had a skin full of piss, and he tried to roll me over on my side and fuck me sideways. Embarrassing? Well, I wasn't really embarrassed, because I'm sitting there thinking, if you can wear my bra and my undies, nothing's going to faze you. I goddamn farted. I farted. I mean, normally I would be fucking mortified, waiting for the ground to open up and swallow me fucking whole, but I farted. He didn't hear it. I heard it. I heard it. Normally I've got quite good control of that area, not this night, because I was quite pissed. Anyway, so he was a one-shot wonder, And, you know, like he'd talk this big game. Yeah, so disappointing. And I'm thinking, I used my good Elizabeth Arden makeup for you. I have let you wear, I've let you wear my bra and my undies, and this is what I get. So not worth it. Well, anyway, so the next morning, of course, I wanted another go, and so we did the deed, and then I'm like, let's go again, you know, because Andy's got needs, and Andy's a bit of a goer. Some may say slut, but I don't give a fuck. Actually, I quite like that word. I'll own it. Anyway, so. And he said, "Oh, I can't. No, I'm done. I'm done." And then he tried to leave without finishing me off. And I'm like, I don't fucking think so. There's somebody else in this equation here, and I have not finished. To me, that's a lousy fucking selfish lover. So really, I should have listened to my intuition the first time round. But anyway, so he gets dressed. Must have only been like 5 a.m. I said, make sure you leave my bra and my undies behind. It's not like he could even blame the fact that he was pissed, because he wasn't fucking drinking. Anyway, so he trots off, and I'm just lying there going, what a fucking freak. What a cock, and what a waste of time. But anyway, God. So he, yeah, Caitlin, yeah, absolutely. It was disappointing as fuck. So, you know, so I'm chatting. He's genuinely, I quite liked him. I liked his accent. I just thought he was a funny man. He made me laugh. Shit in bed. I mean, but, you know, I could probably teach him, but would I want to put the time and the effort into trying to teach somebody? Not really, you know. Friends with benefit, man, no teaching involved there. Anyway, that's enough for him. You heard about him last week. So anyway, so this guy goes back to his home, and I message him, you know, thank you for a lovely weekend. I get a couple of words back, and then I don't hear from him for 3 weeks. And I'm like, you fucking wanker. You're not even good enough. You know, you ghost me, but you're not even good enough, cute enough, hot enough to fucking ghost me. I mean, who the actual shit do you think you are? You know, chody and useless in bed. And I'm like, you're ghosting me. So I sent him, yeah, I know, Caitlin, it was just absolutely unbelievable. So I sent him a little bit of a snarky fucking message along those lines, you know, blah, blah, blah. I had a bit of a moment. Must have had my period or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I gave him a bit of a and then he came back to me and said, oh, I've turned off the notifications for WhatsApp, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, thinking to myself, oh, fuck you. Just fuck you, actually. It was so not worth it. You think you're a man, but you're only a boy. Love that song. I mean, we should do a remake of that song. It's perfect. But anyway, so really not worth it. And that was the experience with my first Tinder vetting from my friends, who now they have become regular Tinder vets. Yeah, Alana. Well, I have to be brutal. So thus ends that date number, the podcast number 2. But I want to read you out some questions. I'm not sure how you guys would answer these questions, but, this is a doozy. So, Dusty Springfield writes, of course that's not her name, but Dusty Springfield writes, and she says, Dear Andy, every time I go to vacuum my lounge, my husband gets an erection. It turns him on immensely. And all I want to fucking do is vacuum my lounge, and all he wants to do is bend me over the Hoover and give me one. What a fucking conundrum, right? But this is my answer. Suck it up, you lucky bitch. And actually, you should let him give you one. Keep on vacuuming, let him take you from behind, and with with a bit of luck, he'll push you a few centimeters forward each time he, and pretty soon, before you know it, you'll have the whole fucking vacuum, the whole lounge vacuumed anyway. So that's my advice. That's my advice to Dusty Springfield. Thank you for your question, by the way. What a conundrum, not. We have another question, and this is from Keep It in the Family, obviously not their real name. But they write, Keep It in the Family writes, I'm just going to read it. Dear Andy, my new boyfriend has asked, hang on, the handwriting is shocking. My new boyfriend has asked if his mother could have a threesome with us. I've only met her a couple of times, and she seems really nice. Is this considered incest on my part, even though I am not related? Incest, the new board game. It's a game the whole family can play. Oh, God, sorry. Anyway, just had to throw that little joke in there. And Keep It in the Family goes on. On my part, and do you think this would affect our relationship down the line if it doesn't go well? And she signed it off, Keep It in the Family. Wow, how the fuck am I going to answer that? Well, I wouldn't have signed it as Keep It in the Family. I would have signed it as Dear Motherfucker. Okay, so if it doesn't, my advice is this has got me thinking, right? So if it doesn't go well, and you end up breaking up with him, and he hurts you, and he fucks you off, because ultimately he's going to. Do you know one way to get real good revenge? Go and start up a sexual relationship with his mother. I mean, get over somebody by getting under somebody, and who better than get under his mother? I mean, come on now. She clearly fancies you anyway, so fuck, why not? Some people out there are probably reading that or listening to me absolutely cringing. I don't care. You've asked. And that's how I've decided to answer my question. I actually think it's fucking brilliant. Brilliant advice. Leave him, hook up with the mum. Funny. Right, so that's all we've got time for, folks. Thank you so much for joining in, and keep the questions coming, because those questions were absolute goddamn pearlers. So keep your questions coming in. Tune in next week, and I will be giving you I'll give you a little sneak peek. This date involves a parrot. A parrot. If you want to know more, you don't want to miss this one. But if you want to know more, tune in next week. So thank you for your company tonight. I hope you've had as much fun as I have, and I will see you next week. See ya.